Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to look at this unpopular tank right here. It is the Charioteer. Now, personally, I really love this tank. I think it's fantastic. It's not as good as it used to be, but honestly, if you was around when this tank was first released, it was mega OP, like really OP indeed. So it didn't take long for wargaming to change the Charioteer. Now, of course, it is a tank destroyer that you should never ever play as a tank destroyer, ever. Like, it's more of a light tank, medium tank kind of thing, sort of playing it second line. Now, you've got no armor, so I wouldn't play it front line, and people will HE you if they can. The DPM is 2,290. That is with running calibrated shells. You have to run calibrated shells on this thing because of one reason, and that is because it has HESH. The reload is 9 seconds. Now, the reload used to be really short. I mean, like 6 seconds, something like that. It was crazy. It basically had the same gun as an FV4202. Like, and that is a tier 10, and it used to have the same gun, same penetration, and it was just mega OP. So your penetration is 257 on your APCR and 189 for your HE. I don't run it with any cheap HE because personally I just don't feel it's worth it because it does the same damage as your more expensive HE. So I don't run it with any cheap HE. There's just, for me, no point, no reason to. Your aim time is 3.6, your gun dispersion 0.326, which is not the best, but you're going to play close combat anyways, so it doesn't make massive difference. It does have 10 degrees of gun depression, which does not help towards your armor because even using that, you're going to get penned. Your top speed is 48 kilometers per hour with a top average speed at 39. Now, the only thing I would ever change with this thing, it is actually a bit sluggish unless you use the improved speed boost. Now, when you're using that, it does feel quick and it feels really nice, but that is only every sort of minute. That's only every minute. I would personally like the top speed to be what that is, like constantly, and it will make it a better tank. It's not an OP tank, it's not a popular tank, so I personally would remove the speed boost or keep the speed boost, but put the speed to whatever it is when you're using this, because I do think it needs changing because it's not a popular tank. People get destroyed very quickly in this tank. So yeah, I would just love it if it went a little bit quicker. Of course, I would always run the spool liner as well, so people do less HE damage when you are using this tank. So we're going to get into a couple of games, couple of quick games really. One of them's on obviously the Alpenstadt Horror, and we're just going to fast forward it. We're going to turn the volume down just a little bit. We're going to fast forward just a little bit because not a lot happens early on in this game. So one thing you've got to be careful, like I said, you've got to be not in line of fire. You can see there, I've just been deleted by this Borask, like absolutely deleted. Lost half of my hit points, and now for the rest of the game, I have to be very careful, especially taking that shot there from the AMX. Now, if this guy shoots me with HE, I could be dead, and I don't want to die yet. I don't want to die, but when you can get your HE damage out, I mean 550 alpha, which is actually very nice. So far that is 1500 damage. I'm going to stay in cap. I haven't got the hit points to rush in anyway, so I'm happy just to sit in cap and get a few points on my thing. Maybe at the end it may help towards an ace, depending of course how much damage I actually do. There's the T95. I don't go with the HE there just because I didn't really see what angle we was at. There was things in front and I don't want my HE to bounce off a little fence or something stupid like that. And then of course I do spot these guys coming from the side, so I do have to kind of move out the way because I am now a one shot to any tank on the enemy team. So I don't want to die just yet. I'm less than 2k. I'm not happy with the damage. I just want a little bit more damage if I can. And as you can see, there's 3 tanks left alive, both 2 one-shots, and one is actually almost full hit points. So get the shot there. Nice shot against the SDP. And then now I do get very lucky because there is a 1400 hit, well, now 1100 hit point Charlie Magne, and I do get a very nice ammo rack, which really did help towards pumping my damage up. And that was with HE on the side of that tank. Now I don't manage to get an ace, in all fairness, just because I got 3.5k damage. I don't think I deserved an ace. I mean, I got that damage, of course, because I got the ammo rack. If I wouldn't have got the ammo rack, it wouldn't have been great damage. Anyway, now one thing you do need to be careful of, especially driving this tank, and not just this tank, there's a lot of tanks, is coming up against tier 9, because tier 9 will absolutely tear you apart. They really will. So do be careful when you come up against tier 9s. And just because you've got 10 degrees of gun depression, it doesn't mean that you can get on a ridge, use that gun depression, you're going to bounce. Like, you're literally going to bounce nothing. So do bear that in mind. I would never play the tank as a tank destroyer, because I don't think it is a tank destroyer, but I would also never play this tank front line. Always try to make sure there is another tank in front of you. Like now, I'm hiding behind this 53 TP, and then as soon as this Tiger aims at the guy in front of me, then I will get my shot. Now, 81 damage, I mean, he did just turn in time, so he did get pretty lucky. But, I mean, look what I'm doing here. I am hiding from that guy, and then we can get the HE. I'm always trying to look at getting that HE out, because that's one way you're really going to maximize your DPM, getting that HE out. It's got high pen, so if you are coming up against tier 8, tier 7, then you're going to be able to penetrate a lot of tanks frontally. I mean, this guy, no problem frontally, 550 damage, and that is now 2.5k damage, with still 4 tanks left alive. So now we're going to push forward, 3 tanks left alive. I can see that Emil 1951. Now, if I do come up against him, I will definitely be able to penetrate his lower plate, or if I come up behind him, at the rear, at the side of him, I will also be able to penetrate with HE. But right now, there's 2 tanks left alive. The Bazonte here is not looking, so he is the perfect opportunity to get a few HE shots into. So that is now 2.8k. Can I get another shot before he dies? No, I can't. And just 1 tank left alive. Wait for him to see who he is aiming at, because I don't want to just come out, because I'm a 2-shot to this guy. And as soon as I see he's not looking at me, go a bit further forward just so I can penetrate that lower plate. And that again is a 400 alpha. Sadly, that is all I'm going to get this battle, but still 3.2k damage. I think most of my shots there was HE, and you need to look at using HE as much as you possibly can. So yeah, it is a weird tank. Some people might love it, some people will hate it. I personally do absolutely love this tank, mainly because I know how to use HE. I enjoy using HE, and it can work on this tank. But like I said, the only thing I will change, I would want to change, is to make it a little bit more faster, and then I think it will be a very good tank. But yeah, let me know what you think of the Charioteer in the comments below. But for now, hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm meadsy69, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye bye.